We discovered a design flaw that can potentially ruin this project. I just realized something. We can't fit a brake disc on this. So that means in this episode, I have to figure out a way to mount this in the frame and keep everything colinear. I don't know how I'm going to do this. That's the villain of this story. This chain drive differential has got to get complete, at least good enough to put the engine in. In the SCCA solo rule book, it states that you have to have a brake at each wheel, and there's nowhere to put a brake disc. We have to figure out how we're going to mount this in the frame before we can figure out how to put a brake disc on it, because it has to be in the frame and colinear before we can start putting things on. If this project's even going to work, because as of right now, it's not looking great. Now, while fitment is going to be our major concern from here on out, because we have to fit the brake discs and the caliper and the lines back there. But we still have to also think about structure, integrity, strength, collinearity, geometry. This is going to be a huge task for us. It's going to be very hard. I don't even have exactly what you would call the plan. I'm just going to kind of do stuff and throw welding wire at it until it fits, I think. Let's do some mental cardio, shall we? The interior portion of the cart is exactly 27 inches. From outside diameter to outside diameter, it meets there. And the bar comes in at a 45, basically ruining all of the opportunity that we have to put a brake disc back here. Shout out, Jason. Appreciate you. Center line is 41. Now, I don't think this has to be quite perfect for the center line. It's not going to matter too much if we're offset just a bit. Just so long as our chain is perfectly aligned. That's where the other side of the bar will meet. So we can fit a brake disc here. As you can see here, this is going to be our best angle for a ligamente. And if you're not cultured, that means alignment. What we find ourselves with is potentially not enough room forward for our engine. We need 21 down, 18 front to back. We might be able to actually tuck that motor in. That, my friend, would be very cash money. If we can manage to get our engine in here underneath this bar, that's going to be awfully close. Awfully close. There's got to be a better way. Let's see, front to back, we have 8 inches, maybe 8.5. Unless I can figure out something here. Or order axles that have brake discs on the end rather than drum. And that might be what we end up doing. That'd be way easier, way more efficient, way easier to install. That might be what we do. We're definitely going to get this thing in here. I'm tired of forking with it. I've gathered just slightly enough brain cells to come up with a plan. What we've got so far is I'm going to use this to level us to the center, a carpenter square to level us to the frame. That should get us pretty close. Nothing that we can't adjust out with our pillow block and some hardware. I am not going to be putting it in upside down. I'm going to be putting the lighter just like this. And we're going to be using bracing very similar to this to get our structure built. Something kind of like that. Maybe triangulate it once we get a final resting place for that. And then just do the same thing to the other side. Sure. Yeah, why not? Easy. That is far from straight. Dang. Far from great. All right. Who would have guessed? I'm an idiot. Who would have thunk? Let's see just how bad. Whoo-wee, it's pretty bad. Like that bad. Yeah, maybe I can get a pry bar after it. It is just tacked after all. This seems better. I felt it move. Oh, it needs to go the other way. Sick, dude. I'm gonna have to get the Persuader 2000 out. Looks like all we got is the Persuader 3000. By George, I believe that'll do it. So which way's it gotta go? Let's double check that. This end needs to go that way. Did it move? Well, if you're not watching, all's pretty close, mate. That's pretty close. There's no way this is passing tech, dude. I mean, there's just no way. I mean, look at it. Let's start there. Oh, boy, howdy. That's pretty close. That's about as close as I can get it. Ain't nothing to it, baby, but to do it, baby. Well, that's probably what I guess. Pretty well, though. Slab just came off, and I'm pretty sure it's hitting now. Ow, ow. Ooh. Now that we have the right side tacked in place, the next step is to tack the left side. Make sure that we can get everything at least mildly aligned. Remember, we can still move these in the jig itself, front, back, upright, left, down, all that good stuff. So our next step is to just tack this in, get it as close as possible, and go from there and hope for the best. Let's take a look and see where we're at. Completely unsupported. That looks terrible. That's not terrible. So this side needs to come up. Let's see if we're level at all this way. Not real bad though. Look at that. The first time in my life I'm not down bad. Holy. Feels like it's working well. Let's see. Ooh. Both sides need to come up, which is okay. We kind of built it that way because it's easier to bring it up. And once you step back, you can start to see that it's a little drooped on each end, which is fine because we still need to add bracing and triangulate it from here to here, and then do the same thing from here to here. We'll probably add some sort of triangulation from here to there, or maybe even there. Same thing over here. Probably do both of them just like that. Just so that way we have as much triangulation as possible to keep this thing from flexing around on everybody. With that said, we have to make sure that this one is square to the frame as much as possible. I'll finish welding all of this up. We'll do shims, then we'll throw the wheels on. I almost forgot to mention, it looks like we're going to be able to put a brake disc here and here with our caliper on the back side of each one of those. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Only one way to find out. I may not know a whole lot of things, but I know that I will never be doing this again. This looks terrible. And I have, yeah, I don't even have suspicions, buddy. I know this ain't passing tech inspection, but we will deal with that when we get to it. Yep. This side right here is very low down. So what we need to do is take this jack, push it up, so that way we even it out, because that side's all the way down over here, causing this to be non-colinear, because that's a word. Well, that's sturdy. Oh, that's good. Here, you watch that. Can you tell me if it bends up at all? Is that good? Did it bend? Well, what do I hire you for? I did something. To be real. How do I shim this? Because these pillow blocks are hollow underneath. So I need something wide enough, but thin enough and consistent enough to add shims to both sides. You think 10 snips can cut that? Woo! More welding. Who's the bitch? No. That's good enough, but right now, baby, we align, weld it, warp it, align it again, re-weld it, re-warp it, get everything straightened up, and we have a functional limited slip differential. Who's the bitch? Will it pass tech inspection? Absolutely not. At this point, I don't care if it passes tech. I just want to do some burnouts, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, monkeys and squirrels, I would like to present to you Devin's demonstrably incorrect limited slip chain drive differential. Both wheels roll, you hold one, and the other wheel moves. This one stays still, and that is what I would like to call a job well done. Bang, dude. Whip-pow. Would you look at that? Shoot, buddy. Don't ever doubt yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Do not ever doubt yourself. I don't miss the next one. Unless I put in the engine. I appreciate you all watching. I'm glad you could stick with us through this journey. I'd love for you to stay, watch our next video, and figure out where we end up with this cart. Because as of right now, I don't know if that's going to pass tech inspection, but I'm tired of holding you guys up. So we're just going to move on. We're going to put the engine in next time, and I'd love to see you there. Now, don't cry. I gotta stop welding. I have to watch. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. Only one way to find out. Almost died.